I just stopped going to playgroup because I was scared of our safety. So it was not easy because every day we joining them, but suddenly we stopped, and she was like, "What happened?" So for straight 1 month, we just stay at home reading more news about it, and it was difficult to deal with a little child because they wanted to roam around to go to play with the kids, and she was missing her friends. Sometimes she will ask me, "Mama, where is my friend?" And no, we can't go. I'm scared. I don't want. I know that they are already open, but I just don't want to go. Even if it's mandatory, I think I will not. I don't want to risk our lives.
The children and their education and their fostering in general within their own peer group has been very sadly, very tragically neglected, so that the benefits of the older population have been prioritized over those. And yet I think that it is so important for the future that every society must care very much about the next generation. Yes, there is a concern about depression that's already quite acute, that we don't have to wait for that to be a long-term consequence that's already happening.
The Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development tell us that 188 countries have closed schools, which has impacted 1.5 billion children. And the World Bank tells us that 70 million people will be driven into deep poverty as a result of COVID-19. So we are looking at a global problem in terms of people who are experiencing any kind of disadvantage or vulnerability. Schools in poorer areas are actually less likely to be offering children daily lessons. So those schools are around 30% compared to around 50% of the schools in the more affluent areas.
We need to be vigilant about the fragility that we might encounter. Now, the resilience that we also expect of young people, of all human beings, is actually the thing that's most fostered by this compulsory universal education. That is what builds up the resistance. So that very tool has been temporarily withdrawn. And that's incredibly dangerous, I think. at least 20 or so countries all over the world who have either not closed the schools or have decided that they should go back. And from any of these, I believe there has not been a report of a huge increase in risk of contagion.
No, not possible. Don't touch the plant, it will hurt you. It's short, there you go. Huh.